What is going on, people? TripleM back again with another video, and today we're going to be reflecting on England's magnificent 3-0 win over Senegal yesterday evening to book their ticket into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. And genuinely, it was humbly surprising to see England perform at that level. It was scintillating, it was spectacular, and it was enthralling. What a game of football, and what a job Gareth Southgate has done, because this midfield performed. This midfield bossed things out there. Now, Declan Rice isn't in the photo, but he deserves some praise as well. And I know individually, you could pick apart those performances and say individually those players didn't play exceptionally well. When you look at the stats and you look at the data, it's hard to quantify what a player like Jordan Henderson brings to the team. I've seen people even discredit Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice, by the way, and call them overrated just because they're English. And it's crazy to me because if you watch football and you understand it at a certain level, you know that there are certain things that cannot be quantified by a lot of stats out there unless you have access to deep analytics and you actually work in the industry. For the majority of football fans, for us who don't pay for, scouting apps and software, and, we don't have access to these data analytics, we can't see it with the numbers. You can only see it with your eyes. And Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, and Declan Rice, they all have one thing in common. Despite the fact that I wouldn't have picked that midfield three personally, and probably many of you watching this video, they all have one thing in common. And that is they know how to dictate the tempo and control a game of football. And that was shown yesterday. England had majority of the possession. They had double the amount of passes played than Senegal. They had more passes into the final third. They had more total chances created. And even though Senegal had more total shots, England had more shots on target, and more importantly, created more clear-cut chances thanks to the midfield. Thanks to the midfield. It was genuinely a good performance. Jordan Henderson, again, if you look at the metrics, it's hard to quantify what exactly he did in that game, but he won all of his ground duels, so he had 100% ground duel completion. He only lost the ball 9 times, so he was very tidy in possession, 89% pass accuracy out of 55 touches and 44 passes played. That is pretty impressive. He played 2 successful long balls as well, and he was pivotal. He is that guy in the midfield who knows how to lead a team. And I know people aren't huge fans of him. I'm a United fan, so I would have every right to sit here and banter Jordan Henderson, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to give credit where credit is due and say that I think Jordan Henderson actually had a very solid, 7 out of 10 performance. I genuinely believe that. Moving on, we talk about this man, Harry Kane. He got himself a goal yesterday evening, but that's not the important thing. That is not the important thing. He is so pivotal. He played 4 long balls, which suggests, even without looking at a heat map, even without looking at any deep analytics, if somebody's playing long balls, it probably means they're on the halfway line or very deep in their own half. And for a striker, that points out that they are doing a lot more than just waiting and basically being a poacher. And we know this. If you watch England, Harry Kane drops very deep. He's somebody who is known for his hold-up play, his link-up, but a lot of people will use that to discredit him. Similar to Giroud. Remember when Giroud won the World Cup and he didn't score that many goals? And a lot of idiots were saying, well, he didn't score that many goals, therefore he's useless in the French team. No, he's doing something. He's actually dropping deep and helping in the build-up. You don't need your goal scorer or your number 9 to score goals if the 2 inside forwards or wingers next to him are doing that job, and he's instead dropping into pockets of space to create overloads and help with the build-up. Football is so nuanced, and there's not one absolute way to play a particular position. So for me, as absurd as it sounds, I don't think Harry Kane is having a bad World Cup just because he hasn't scored goals. He's been contributing to England in so many other ways. He's doing so much of the donkey work that goes unnoticed and is unquantifiable to many people. And, the ironic thing is yesterday he actually did score. So, I guess he is sitting some people down, right? Then we move on to Bakayoko Saka, who didn't have that many touches in yesterday's game. He only, I believe, had 36 touches. He played 1 key pass, played 2 accurate crosses, 100% completion when it came to his long balls, won 3 out of 4 of his ground duels, so that's 75%, and had 3 tackles. So he worked really hard. It was a workman-like performance from Bakayoko Saka, and he contributed to his team getting on the scoreboard because he obviously scored, and that's a big performance for him. This is somebody who I don't think has had the best of World Cups. Not to say that he's been bad. I think he's been relatively good, but we just haven't seen that Bakayoko Saka from Arsenal who's just been let off his leash and been allowed to wreak havoc on the opposition. And I think tonight we saw the Bakayoko Saka that we see at Arsenal. Or, well, I say tonight, yesterday evening, pardon me. I think he was magnificent. The last player I want to talk about is Phil Foden, right? Because this is a player who didn't get any goals or any assists, I believe. Actually, he got 2 assists, pardon me. He had 3 key passes, 40 touches, 81% pass accuracy. He won half of his ground duels. He won one of his aerial duels, funnily enough, and only lost the ball 10 times, which is on par with some of his other counterparts in this team. And on top of that, I think Phil Foden is just such a dazzling footballer to watch. The fact that Gareth Southgate doesn't start him more often is criminal. It is criminal. It should be punishable by a prison sentence because he's got so much talent in abundance and yet he doesn't use it. And when he does use it, you see the results. You see the results. The fact that Phil Foden played yesterday, I think, is one of the decisions that led to England actually winning that game. I think he is excellent. Now, I saw someone on Twitter make a very good point saying that if Harry Kane is playing as the sort of deep lying forward who is responsible for hold up, who is responsible for doing the donkey work, playing Phil Foden and Bakayoko Saka next to them doesn't make that much sense because if you're going to have a false 9 or a deep lying forward, you want 2 inside forwards next to him, not wingers. But I actually think that Phil Foden and Saka are more than capable of contributing. They might not be the same as a Rashford in terms of making runs in behind and occupying the half space and being a typical inside forward. But for me, they're good enough. I genuinely believe they're good enough. And it's evidenced by yesterday's performance. Remember, Senegal are not a bad team. Don't allow the hypocrisy of football fans to trick you and let you switch the narrative in your own brain that somehow Senegal are not a great team, so this win by England is not that impressive at all. No, it's a great win. Winning 3-0 against the champions of Africa, mind you, and a team that actually made the round of 16 of the biggest the biggest cup in sport, let alone football. Sport, the biggest competition in sport. That's a big deal. So anybody who's in the round of 16, I ain't hearing it. I ain't hearing it. If South Korea get beat, I'm not hearing it's just South Korea. Brazil aren't that good. No. South Korea are a good team. If Croatia beat Japan, I ain't hearing it's just Japan. No. They're a good team as well because they made the round of 16. Let's stop this nonsense. Let's stop this revisionism. Let's stop this changing and shifting of the goalposts because we wanted to suit our own narrative. Senegal are a good team and they were absolutely lambasted by England and that deserves credit. With that said, though, I still don't think Southgate's the right manager as a neutral, but we'll see. We'll see. He's making me eat my words right now. Anyways, it's been your boy TripleM. Let me know what you think in the comments down below if you so wish. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you want to support the channel. It's so important. It really helps the channel grow. So please do that for me and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.